Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm coming at you with the video that was a request. I got a private message request to do this video, and it's a simple video. And what it was somebody saw my bracelet in one of my videos, and they were asking me specifically to make a video showing how I make my bracelets, and that's what I'm going to bring with you today. That's what this video is about. So first thing you're going to need obviously is some parachute cord, and you're going to need some slide release buckles. Now, you know, there's all kinds of colors obviously that are available at your disposal for whatever kind of bracelets you want to make, and there's all kinds of different sizes of slide release buckles. So, you know, for this video I'm going to be using a 3/8 inch slide release buckle. If you wanted something a little larger, you know, if you had a large buckle, you might be able to make something like my dog's collar. This is also the same kind of concept, you know, but it's a much larger buckle. And it works, the concept to make this is the exact same concept that I'm going to be sharing with you in my video today. Okay, so there's my collar for my dog. This happens to be a bracelet that my daughter likes. And again, you've seen mine. I have several other bracelets, but like I mentioned, you know, you need a slide release buckle. The appropriate size. Again, we're going to use 3/8. Okay, so you have your slide release buckle. Now, the next thing, let me put this other stuff away real quick. The next thing that you're going to need for this project is you need your color combinations. You need to know what color you want to make your bracelet. The bracelet that I'm going to make for the video today is based on the Bear Grylls knife that I like to carry. So we're going to use gray and orange for our bracelet today. I love this color combination together. I think it looks really cool. So that's the colors we're going to use today to make our bracelet. Now behind me you can see that I have a small candle burning. I'll explain what that's for here in a minute. So here's the first color of paracord that I have. It's gray, right? And you'll notice as I keep pulling, I have it connected to the orange. That's why I have the flame behind me. So I'm using about 4 feet of each color. Okay, and I have it connected together. The orange is slightly longer than the gray, just a little bit. The first thing I want to do is I want to note that these buckles that I have a slight curvature to them. So I want to make sure that that curvature goes in relation with my wrist. I don't want to put them upside down where they would be bending against my wrist. So I want to make sure the curvature is correct. And you remember I said the orange was a little bit longer. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend these cords down to where the lengths of them are approximately the same size. Okay, then I'm going to pull it up through, and this will all make sense here in a second. And so that would be the direct center of the paracord. Now I'm going to push this through the end of the buckle here. Going to go downward. Push this guy through. Then from here I pull a small loop, and I'm going to put both of my tails or my standing ends through this loop, and then I'm going to pull the standing ends through. So this is basically going to be a lark's foot around the buckle. That's my first step. Now my second step is to come around with my ends, and I have a knot in this end, so I need to take this little knot out, otherwise it won't fit through the way I need it to fit. So I'm going to come around all the way to the end, and I'm going to come through from the bottom up. So I'm going to push from the bottom up, and I'm going to push both layers of cord through from the bottom up. See that? So now we have the start of our bracelet. Okay, from here it's important to make sure that the cord lays together in the same fashion, or should I say that it doesn't get, you know, overlapped and things like that. Now this is the point that's crucial, and this is the point where you want to measure how big or small you want your bracelet to be. If you want something small for a child, you might cut it about that size. If you want it larger, you know, you want to definitely increase it up to where it's going to fit correctly around your wrist. So I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to use my wrist as the example here. So I'm going to pop this thing around, put it around my wrist. Now one thing I want to note is I recommend that you make it a slightly bit larger than what your wrist actually is. See, so like right there, that's pretty comfortable. See that? But I'm going to add about an inch because the braid itself is going to take a little bit of space up. So I'm gonna make it about like that. That's about where I'm going to do it. So I'm going to lay this over and just kind of hold this in my hand. That's about the mark I'm going to do it at. See that? That's the length I want it. Now from here we're going to start the actual braiding. We're going to take the right side, the gray line, we're going to make a loop. The left side is going to go over, so orange is going to go over gray underneath everything on the back, and it's going to be pulled out of the loop here. This is going to be our first stitch of our bracelet. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to put gray over again, orange is going to go over again, down, around the back and out the hole. This is going to be the start of our braid. Now you'll notice that you'll have a vertical side and you'll have a side which the cord comes out of. The vertical sides are the sides that you always want to make your loop on. Generally it'll be the same color. Once you get a couple wraps, you want to kind of hold this thing with your finger and just kind of pull this stuff all tight towards the buckle. Just want to pull it so it's nice and tight. Now my vertical is right here, so that again is the one that's going to make the loop. We're going to go over the loop, behind the back, and out the hole. Pull it tight, and we're just alternating sides. Now I've seen some guys, you know, on the internet, on YouTube, that have been making bracelets, you know, and they don't show the whole process from start to finish. You know, they cut the video in and out and things like that, and I try to stay away from that. Now the result is some of my videos are longer because of that, but I try not to cut anything. I like to try to show everything. That way if I run across a problem somewhere during the process, I can fix that problem. So bear with me on the length of the video. Feel free to fast forward if you need to. Be careful when you pull and you're pushing, you know, cinching it up, that you don't pull too tight and break this loose. You don't want to accidentally break that loose. If it happens, just reattach it the same way we did it before. Melt the two ends together. This is going to be a nice looking bracelet. The amount of cord that I told you that you'll need for this bracelet is going to be more than enough, because generally speaking you need about 1 foot of cord per inch of length of bracelet that you want to make. So if you need a 6-inch bracelet, get at least 6 feet. I usually go a little more just in case, and I'll show you what I have left here at the end. Now when you start getting close to this area here where you have your connection, don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. Just cover it up and everything's going to work out just fine. There it is. Can't hardly even see it. Can't even hardly see it. Pull that one a little tighter. Just keep braiding away. Now I've seen a lot of people, you know, they make little jigs and things like that to make some of them, and I have a jig that I use. My little jig looks like this, but this is more for keychains and things like that. But so yeah, you could buy a jig or make a jig to do these bracelets. But, you know, I try to do things, I don't want to say it the hard way, but I try to do it in a way where if I was out somewhere and I didn't have, you know, all these fancy jigs and things, I try to do things in a way where those aren't necessary. So it's a fun braid. It's very easy to do. This is known as the Cobra Stitch. I like the color combination. And if you're wondering about this little guy on my wrist, my daughter made that for me. It's out of rubber bands or something. It's kind of cool. Maybe I'll get her to do a video on that. She gets a kick out of my YouTube channel. And she loves going out to the woods with me whenever we're going to film any kind of fire, or, you know, if we're going to make jerky, or, you know, the other day I was making some black powder and she was right out here with me. She loves this stuff. She's learning so much. Gosh, these kids grow so fast. I mean, you go to bed one night and you wake up the next day and they're 2 inches taller, you know, it seems. So just keep threading away. We're almost done. Sounds like my mailman just pulled up outside. Maybe we'll have an unboxing. Again, people, I want to say, you know, my apology for the long video, but I really like to show this thing uncut and unedited. And I'm constantly pushing this stuff up towards the top. I'm making it nice and tight. Now we're almost done. And it didn't take long. You know, I could go in there and fast forward the video. Now, depending on how tight you make each stitch, you know, sometimes I'll pull these opposing ends out. Sometimes I'll pull them really tight. And if you do that, it'll make a much stiffer bracelet. If you want something to kind of bend easily, don't do them really super tight. I usually do at the end though. When I get close to the end, I tighten things up really tight because I don't want my stitch to start coming undone. Looks like we might have room for one more wrap, maybe two. See if I can squeeze another one on there or not. You see me bending it because that helps me get everything together. Yeah, we might squeeze one more in there and that'll be about it. Okay, so that would be it for this guy. Now, let's talk about the termination of it. How are we going to finish this? We've got it all braided together. Now what are we going to do with these tails? See the length of the tails? They're about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches on each side. Now from here, I like to take the blade of my knife and cut these edges off. Just like that. Notice the length of that. I'm also going to melt this, and at the same time I'm going to wet my thumb. I have a nice wet thumb. This will be for when I push my thumb against the paracord. Nice and wet, and it'll mold that thing together. That's how I terminate the end. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. If you don't want to use your thumb, you can use something like a piece of wood. You know, you can do something like this block of wood, piece of metal, anything like that. You just need something to terminate that paracord. Now let's check this and see how it fits around my wrist. Fits pretty good. See? I have a perfect fit. The color combination complements my knife. I only had a little bit of paracord left over. Just a little bit. That's all I had left. So again, everybody, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found some good information here. Please feel free to comment, like, thumbs up, share, and as always, have a beautiful day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and make a parachute cord bracelet. Bye-bye now.